Greetings, beloved light warriors. It's Saratoga, and this is your weekly focus card reading for the week beginning April 12th through April 18th, 2021. And if you're new to my channel, this is something I do every Sunday so that we can reset our focus and our energy for the coming week ahead. And then I do my regular videos on camera on Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay, let's get into this week and this beautiful card that we have. So the card says, embracing enthusiasm, shout to the heavens with happiness. Now, I'm not going to focus specifically on these words other than to say that the words here really represent the state of experiencing a very high vibration. So let us focus on that. I want to focus more on the image on the card itself, which shows a woman who's clearly in a state of happiness and joy. And the flowers around her head, the butterflies, just the overall feeling of this is a feeling of nature, meaning that happiness is our natural state. Happiness is not supposed to be this fleeting, momentary thing that we hardly ever feel. It's actually, if you were to describe what happiness actually is a word that describes what it feels like to have your energy in a cohesive, high vibrational state. That is a state of pure joy, pure bliss, just really feeling whole. So this is really what we want to aim for overall. Now, I've noticed something interesting lately is it feels like the energy is kind of lightening up overall. I'd be curious to know if any of you guys are feeling that yourselves. If so, leave me a comment and let me know. But just the overall energy feels like things just feel lighter, even though the circumstances in the world don't look so great. But there's some kind of a feeling of fresh, new, lighter energy. This could be just a window that we have right now to raise our vibration, to be more to feel happier. Maybe it's going to expand and get bigger. I guess we just have to wait and see where that goes. But for right now, it doesn't surprise me that we have this card because it really is a match to the feeling of that lightness of being, that lightness of energy that seems to be here for us at this particular time. I want to focus right now on the butterflies because the butterflies are a symbol of transformation. I also think butterflies are very much a symbol of lightness and happiness. Don't you always feel that? Like if you are in a garden, a flower garden, and you see a butterfly, doesn't it just lift your spirits immediately? Butterflies are like the most magical creatures. It's like just when you see a butterfly, it's just instant happiness. And so I think really if we just pull all this together, the message is this is a perfect time to focus on raising your vibration to a state of feeling happy. This is a transcendent experience. If you can bring yourself into that high vibrational state of happiness, you are going to literally be transcending the negativity that's going on, I'll call it on the surface of the planet or wherever it's happening on the planet. And it's almost like an opportunity to practice getting better command of our energy and our energy bodies. We need to get much greater command over our own experience. We need to exercise the power that we naturally have to be in command of our own experience. I also want to point something out. I put this little fairy here on the right side of the card. The reason I did is because fairy energy is the energy of happiness. I mean, fairies are nature's angels. If you've ever worked with fairies, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I've always felt that the energy of the fairies is like it's an elixir of happiness. That's what I call it. If you ever intentionally and consciously work with the fairies, especially this time of year where it's spring in the northern hemisphere, And it even is great to work with the fairies in the fall if you're in the southern hemisphere. But anytime you consciously work with the fairies, you're going to feel just a natural state of happiness begin to grow within you. So fairies are totally awesome for helping to bring your consciousness into a state of happiness, especially when you work with them in a garden or work with them in the context of improving and elevating the natural world around you in some particular way. So, so let's just put all of this together. And I think you want to think of this, again, I know it's for this coming week, but so many times I feel like these readings don't really have the limit of a week. It's more like I do it once a week, but you can take any of these card readings and just expand on it for as long as you want. You can certainly revisit any of them and reset according to that particular reading, because I don't think it's limited to a week. I really think it's more of an expansive energy that can go as long and as far as you want. So at any rate, pulling it all together, this is just an optimal time to be connected not only to nature and the natural world, but to our true nature, and to understand that we human beings are just as much a part of nature as the flowers, the trees, the oceans, the mountains, all of the creatures, all of the underwater creatures. We are an integral part of the nature of this earth. We are an integral part of the earth itself. When we align with our true nature, doors open up inside of us that are very, very powerful. Because when we align with the nature of our planet, we are simultaneously aligning with the more profound energies of the universe, the stars, the galaxies, the cosmos. It's all interconnected. So I think that's really the central message here, is to come into alignment with our natural state and not consider that our natural state includes being sad, includes being unhappy, includes being miserable. See, those experiences, when we're in those experiences, we are in a state of discord. We're in a state of disharmony. I don't know if that's a word, but I'll make it a word anyway. We're in a state of disharmony. We're not in harmony. We're not in alignment with our natural selves. So whenever you're feeling sad or unhappy or sick or whatever, you can view that as saying, hey, this is a signal, this is a sign that my consciousness, my energy is out of alignment with who I am in a natural state. So healing is all about bringing yourself back into a natural state of being. That's what healing is. The concept of healing, the idea of healing is really that simple. So no matter what might ail you, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, circumstantial, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be your life. If you feel it needs healing, then just acknowledge that to yourself and understand that healing means bringing everything back into alignment, bringing everything back into a place where it can align with a higher vibration. Because what you're really aligning with is your inner light. You're really aligning with, let me see, how can I put this simply? You are a light. You are the light within you. You are the light within your own heart. That is the truth about you. That light is always at the highest possible frequency of energy. The problem is, due to what's happening in terms of this finite reality that we all live in, that light gets repressed, it gets buried, it gets almost suffocated in terms of our experience. It's not really suffocated, but it's suffocated in terms of the fact that we're not able to experience it because there's so much junk piled on top of it. So if you look at the butterflies in this image again, and the light around the butterflies, think of that as a transmutational light. So that light within you is transmutational. It will transmute those lower frequencies, those lower vibrations, and As that light expands from within you and it expands outwardly, you will feel that those lower frequencies start to shift and transmute and transform into a higher vibration, bringing you into a greater and greater state of happiness and joy. So overall, I think the focus for this week is to focus on happiness. And I want to say one more thing too about the subject of happiness, because I think that we have a tendency as human beings, we have a tendency to think that our happiness is sourced from external events. Like, if everything works out great, then I'll be happy. If my life turns out exactly how I want it to, then I'll be happy. You might be happy, but even if it's happy because of a circumstance, it's probably just going to be a momentary happiness. It's not going to be sustainable, because the only way it could sustain itself is if nothing moved and everything stayed exactly as it was the moment you felt that happiness. So you want to shift your consciousness into an understanding or into a level of empowerment that you are in command of your own happiness. This is one of the fastest ways to evolve, okay? So you could decide, say sometime this week, you could say, you know what, I'm going to practice being in command of my own experience of happiness. I'm not going to be relying on external events anymore. I'm not going to be relying on circumstances anymore. I'm going to be the person, the being, who brings myself to that state of happiness and then expands that happiness into what I manifest in this world. So that I am manifesting a life that is in alignment with that experience of happiness that lies within me. So this is a very beautiful message of empowerment. Again, I feel like we have this wonderful window right now where the energy is kind of lightened up to give us a chance, to give us an opportunity to be more focused on being in command of our own happiness. Because see, when you focus that way, you're going to start to tap into a level of power and strength and clarity that's going to change the way you look at all the stuff happening in our world that is just so out of alignment with everything real and natural, right? You're going to be able to look at that from a different perspective. You're not going to feel so victimized by it. You're going to feel like you stand in a place of power. Okay, so happiness is not just some, little experience that's nice to have once in a while. We're talking about happiness as a sign of you being in full power of your own consciousness, your mind, your heart, your emotions, your body, and ultimately your life. So that's what we want to work towards. And that is a wonderful way to aim, or I should say, how can I say it? A wonderful way to aim your consciousness in a direction of very powerful evolution and transformation, as these butterflies signify. All right, so I think that's it for this week, and I'm wishing you guys a beautiful, enlightening week of unfolding revelations and inspirations. And so let's set forth and have an awesome week ahead. And I very much look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. I'm sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful week, everyone. Namaste.